Before we start. All right, new game. Episode 1. Turnabout Trump. Turnabout Trump.
Hello, motherfucker.
Oh shit. Yo, what up, Spirit? Hello. More like Turnabout Biden. Biden? Why is it called Biden? Oh, you mean? Oh, I did. I get it. Trump? Biden. I get ya. Here we go. Showdown time. How are you, though, Spirit? Oh yeah, did you bought Hogwarts Legacy? You lose. Oh. Ow. Oh. Ooh. Is that out yet? What? I'm waiting for the reviews. Oh, is that out yet? Wait, I'm seeing some people streaming it though. Oh, somebody's dead. Somebody's dead. I seem to be in a bit of a trouble. Something like that. Dead. Someone hit him hard. Meat, please. The cup should be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should it come to that? I just checked the release date a minute ago. Oh, 10th? Okay. Oh. Wait, so why are people streaming it then? I guess they got the early release or something. April 20th, 9:37 a.m. District Court, defendant lobby number 3rd. Panic, palms sweaty. I can admit it. I'm nervous. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Who are you? Apollo. Christoph. You tense, Justice. Justice? Wound up tight. Apollo Justice. Oh yeah, Apollo Justice, literally. Wait, his last name is Justice for real? Wound up, sir? No, I'm loose. I'm fine. Okay, before that... How did I yearn for one of these? Just putting it down makes me feel ready. Yes, his name is Justice. Attorney's badge. Smith's autopsy report. The time of death was around 2 a.m. April 17. Death caused by a single blow to forehead. Crime photo. Man, the screen's so small, man, but I can't get used to this. Okay. Sub-basement at the Birch and Ball Club. Touch the check button for details. Alright. Any else? Okay, I'm trying to figure out the controls. But I think I get it. Oh, yeah, I saved the game actually. Do not return to the title screen. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's how you save the game. Hydrate up. That screeching noise, is that your voice? I suppose it's to be expected. Your first trial and it's a homicide. I guess justice doesn't start small, eh? Wait, can I check the profile? Oh, there we go. There. Age, question mark, gender, male. My first client just standing in front of this guy makes me nervous. 32. Christoph Gavin. Boss at the Gavin Law Offices at First Red Defense Attorney and my trusted mentor. Okay, so we work for him. Or in the law with him. Shady Smith. Shady. So how did the champion battle go? I'm guessing you were like level 80. I was pretty over level, not gonna lie. Yeah, I was like 70? Yeah. I was pretty OP. The victim in this case had traveled only recently back in country. I guess that's what, you know, EXP... I haven't forgotten your addiction to grinding. You haven't forgotten? To be honest, I don't even need to grind for that. For Pokemon, though. Thanks to the EXP share. I'm fine. I got up at 5 a.m. to do my Chords of Steel voice workout. I'm fine. That explains it. I did detect a certain rasping quality to research Screech. Oh yeah! I got my PS3 working. I got all the Metal Gear Solid games too. So that should be at some point. It's pronounced chords. Oh, chords. But man, downloading on PS3, it is so fucking slow. Spirit. I didn't remember it was that slow. A 64 GB. A one whole day downloading it. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous, so slow. It's so slow. I overdid it again. As you know, your client today is a good friend of mine. I would... What is that? On the screen. I would want to let him down if you get my drift. Drift got in, sir. I'm all over the drift. As it happens, I dined with him the night of the murder. We can't let this case fall through. Yes. I'm fine, sir. And thanks to getting my PS3 working, I bought the Sly Cooper, right? The collection. One more thing, and the fourth game too. Don't say you'll find quite so much. People might take you the wrong way. I'll be preparing your case. You might want to introduce yourself to the client. Okay, so the first case, as always, will be a tutorial, right? My name is Apollo Justice. If it isn't clear already, I'm a new attorney. And today is my first trial. Not that I'm worried or anything. The defendant has been accused of murder. My boss wants to help him out, of course. And so do I. I mean, there's no way he did it. Not him. No way. So... Nice beanie, though. Is it P-A? Pa? Pa. Pa. Whoa! Good, morning. Morning. It's all up to you today. First trial, nervous. Meeting him, cardiac arrest. I think I'm supposed to say something. Help? So, you are fine. I'm here. I'm fine. Fine. Mr. Fine, is it? Mr. Fine? Look familiar? Am I supposed to recognize him? Not really. Maybe? Maybe? Maybe not? Oh, wait. Just curious? I'm not sure. I don't recognize this guy. Maybe from a previous game, but I don't really recognize. It's 5 feet down. Oh god. I didn't remember you having an odd name. Well, we're off to a great start. Are you sure you're okay? I mean, with me? Wait, they didn't show Apollo Justice here though, right? That's a shame. I want to see how old is Apollo Justice? And everything. Are you sure you're okay? I mean, with me? Mr. Gavin is a top-notch defense attorney. The protagonist is almost never in the profiles list. And check his ace if you want. Yeah! Yes, please. Wait, didn't... Oh, I think Phoenix Wright had one though, right? For the game. He had a profile for him, I think. Unless I'm wrong. Maybe not. And he's your friend, so why? You'll see. Oh, the Beanie said Papa. He had one in the stolen turnabout because it was needed. Ah. You can do it. Be confident. I'm really sorry this happened to you. I mean, it's time. Shall we? Yes, sir. Okay, I need to focus. First trial. Here comes justice. Here comes justice. I like him. I like Apollo Justice. Not, it's a pretty nice name. 10 a.m. District Courtroom number 2. Oh God! Yay! The judge is back. The OG's, judge. The court is now in session. I missed you, man. I missed you. Compared to the great ace attorney. Pain. Pain. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. He's all over. He's all over the tutorial. The defense is fine. I mean, ready, Your Honor. Okay, Apollo. Nice suit, though, red and everything. Kinda dig it. 22? Okay, about the same age as Phoenix Wright when he started, right? Mind going blank. Don't panic. Too late. Your name was Mr. Justice, and this is your first trial. Yes, Your Honor, but I'm fine, really. Are you quite sure? Your voice sounds a bit strained. Mr. Kevin? Yes, Your Honor. I was under the impression that you would be heading up this case. That was my intention, yes. However, the defense attorney must always accede to his client's wishes. And my client specifically requested Mr. Justice. Well, of course he wants justice. But to entrust his case to this greenhorn, why? I do not exaggerate when I say that you are the best defense attorney in town, Mr. Gavin. Okay, so Gavin's got trial experience, fine, but does that he have cards? Cards of steel. Balls of steel, man of steel. Then let's begin. The defendant may enter the courtroom. This is truly an unfortunate turn of events. I'm sorry we had to meet again under these circumstances. Long time no see, Mr. Wright. What? Huh? Wait, he's right? What happened? Why is it? That's why wait! Oh! It's Felix? Let's put the past behind us, shall we? Why does it look like that? These days, I'm merely Phoenix Wright. Piano player? What the fuck? Wait, 7 years? Oh, it's been 7 years since the Ace Attorney, the third one? 7 years! Mr. Wright, how could this have happened? I guess in 7 years, a lot of things can happen, huh? I mean, he looks like... he doesn't look like, you know... He looks very like a homeless guy. I won't speak of it further then. If the prosecution will be so kind as to explain the charges, Mr. Payne. The thing I saw you enter this room as a fresh attorney, and now I'll see you leave in chains. Ah, Winston Payne. Supple as ever, I see. But yeah, that's why his fan nickname is... Hobo Nix? Or Naru Hobo? God damn. Ooh, the music. I like it. Hobo Nix. I mean... Hobo Nix. The crime occurred at the Borscht Bowl Club, a Russian restaurant. And I like the beanie too, which says Papa Beanie Papa. Papa Beanie. Defendant Phoenix Wright took the victim a customer. Wait, so if 7 years, right? 33. Damn, middle age. And I guess he's a good friend of him. We never met Christoph though, Gavin. He's a new character, I'm pretty sure. How old are you right now? 61 and still... Okay. He likes a certain presence. Alright. The defendant Phoenix Wright took the victim a customer and he hit him. Wham! On the head, smack, killed him cold. A customer at the restaurant, you say. And the defendant, you say he was the pianist for the club, it seems. Phoenix Wright, a pianist. This is the weapon that took the victim's life. Okay, since we know it's Phoenix Wright, there's no way he's the killer. Unless, plot twist. This is the weapon that took the victim's life, a bottle of grape juice. Grape juice is apparently our defendant's drink of choice. The court accepts the deadly bottle as evidence. Okay. Something to know, Justice. Grape juice bottle used as the murder weapon bears the defendant Mr. Wright's print. Wait, I can check something there. The bottle is completely empty. Nothing. Grape juice. How long has it been since I drank grape juice? Apparently, it's Mr. Wright's favorite drink. I wonder how well it goes with borscht. Oh, borscht soup, right? I think it's a Russian soup, I think. Okay, nothing else. Okay. That's pretty much it. Fun fact, that's not localization, it's censorship that released grape juice. Wait, for real? So it's not like a wine, but literally grape juice? Wow. I would think, you would think he looks like a hobo. He would, be I guess an alcoholist too, a drunk kind of thing. All evidence is filled in the court record. Make a practice of checking it frequently. The court record, right? I heard of that. Use the court record button to look at the evidence so far. I'm confident in your ability to handle this. Right, the court record button. Sounds like it's time for some hands-on action. So the victim was a customer at this restaurant. But just who was this Shady Smith fellow? We believe he was a traveler, Your Honor. A traveler? According to his passport, he had been out of the country for a number of years. He had only returned to this country recently, though his place of residence is unclear. And he had some sort of connection with the defendant. That too is unclear at present, Your Honor. We believe they first met at the Porsche Ball Club on the night of the crime. They hadn't only just met, then why murder? Perhaps the victim slighted the defendant's piano playing. That doesn't appear to have been the case. No, the motive had nothing to do with the defendant's lack of playing skill. At least that piano playing, I'll let this photo explain what I mean. Oh, it's been 7 years. I wonder, how much have they grew? Who was it again? The assistant? Mia's sister, right? Little sister? What was her name again? Maya, right? Maya, yeah. Who was the little kid again? It's Maya and, who's the tiny little kid too? Pearl? Yeah, Maya and Pearl. I wonder how they look like after 7 years. As we can see, a game of poker was in progress at the scene of the crime. Wait a second. Isn't poker gambling? That's a crime in and of itself. I mean, indeed, it appears our defendant has fallen to become the basis of sort of criminal. Objection! Oh yeah, how is the game audio? Is it loud or low? Is it true? It is true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim. Sounds fine to you? Okay, that's good. Yet it was only that a game in the purest sense. A competition, Your Honor. A competition? Yes, a test of wits. A silent clash of passions. Only the cards, their backs red in blue flame. Know its final outcome. Come again? The cards on the table had blue backs, Your Honor. I believe the defense was waxing poetic in the attempt to mystify those present. An impressed woman. That will be our first order of business here then. To find out more about this fatal game of cards. Very well, defendant. You will testify to the court about the poker competition held the night of the crime. Alright, testimony time. My pleasure. This is it. My first try. Here goes nothing. Let's see if I still got it. I am a pianist by trade, yet I can hardly play at all. I like the music. My real job is to take on uninterested customers over at the poker table. The room where we play and the competition in there are the club's main attractions. The rules are simple. We play a game of poker using 2 decks of cards. That's all it is, a game. And our customers are happy. Pianist who can play piano. Better than a defense attorney who can defend. Hey! Very well. The defense may begin the cross-examination. Right, Your Honor. My first cross-examination, don't blow it. Don't blow it. Are you alright? You're sweating bullets. Bullets? Where? It's a figure of speech, Justice. Your voice sounds strained and raspy too. My brain feels strained and raspy, sir? You've watched me perform cross-examination many times. Though you have never done one yourself, have you? Care for a refresher? What to do? Should I ask Mr. Kevin for a refresher course in the cross-examination? Absolutely not! I think I got it. Hopefully. No need for help here, sir. I think I've got this one covered. I think you'd better do more than think you know it, or you do not. I'm fine. The cards of steel are ready for battle. My weapon, pressed and present. I wonder what press. Just A. Find any inconsistencies, any lies in the testimony, and reveal them to the court. That is cross-examination. Learn it, know it, do it. Learn it, know it, do it. Inconsistencies, lies. Phoenix Wright? As if Phoenix Wright would never lie, and it's up to me to prove it. Unless the defense may begin the cross-examination. Ooh, the competition. Save the game. Just in case, if I fucked it up. If I fuck it up. Alright. Oh, no. Oh, that's how you press. Okay, no, okay. You can hardly play. Okay. Oh, I play sometimes when customers demand it. So I play them one song. That's usually all they want. Was that supposed to be a parallel boast just now? The title of pianist is a mask, a respectable face I wear for the world at large. And why are you really at the Borscht Ball Club? So I can go over like this, right? Alright, yeah. Why? Hold it? Huh? What is this? No idea. There's no wait, how do I go through the options though? Is there, settings? Is a good question. No settings though, huh? I kind of want text go a little bit faster, you know? But it is what it is, I guess, for now. Perhaps main attractions. The room in the crime scene photo is an attraction. It has quite a history, actually. The Borscht Ball Club used to be a gathering spot for black market types back in the day. Black market? All in the past, things like the black market are only on the silver screen nowadays. Suffice it to say that there were a lot of deals being made under the table. Right there in that room. A smoky room camping hoods, you know? Just looking at this picture makes me feel bad. The bosses gather around the table cutting deals safe from the eyes of the law. Meanwhile, Agun keeps watch through the small window. I can practically picture it now. That window does look like it would be good for keeping a lookout, but little else. The room had a few other tricks to it, though it was common knowledge to our regulars. At any rate, they come to play poker in a room steep in history. Despite the dark past, it was all just good, clean fun. Oh, now I can go faster. I guess I might as well press everything for now. To pay you just to play poker? That would seem to be the case. I am professional after all. But do any take of pride in that statement? It's just hard for an honest, hard-working member of society like me to imagine. Yes, your imagination was always a bit limited, Winston. Ooh! Phoenix! What? I played poker for 7 years in that little room. He changed though. He's a lot major for sure. You know, he's got the experience, and I have never lost once. What? You see why the customers come now? Defeat the undefeated poker champion. It's quite a draw. That is, I'm quite a draw. Wait, you never lost once? Not even one time? As I said, I'm a professional. He's played poker for 7 years and not lost once? That's pretty damn amazing. Is that even possible? Unless he's cheating. Two decks of cards. A simple measure to prevent cheating. If you alternate two decks, no one can slip in cards. There's something else I noticed. In addition to the cards on the table, there are some lying scattered on the floor. There is, true. Precisely, cards on the table, cards upon the floor, each one forming a complete deck. A crime scene painted blue by a sad sweep of cards. It's poetic, really. Incidentally, we used two types of cards at the club. One deck of cards was red, and the other blue. Red and blue, huh? As I recall, in poker, you make 5 cards hands. I can see how it would be easy to cheat. Yes, a game of hands. Game of hands. Oh! This competition you're talking about. I believe the court understands the nature of the game sufficiently. Oh, wait! That's right. It was a simple game after all. Are you sure? Huh? People are not murdered over simple games, Mr. Justice. Defendant, you were in the room at the very moment that the crime occurred. Yet you claim no connection to the crime. Now that's strange. What's strange? I was testifying about the competition that night. Asking me about the crime at this was against the rules, Your Honor. Of course, I expected to hear a cry of objection from the defense. I can't really let that one slip by. Don't despair yet, Justice. Sir? Right. There's something I'd like made clear. Namely, your connection to the case at hand. And I'd like to hear it from you. Sure, why not? Very well, the defendant will amend his testimony. Just one little press, and I've got myself a whole new testimony. I plead silence regarding the murder, but I will say I never touched the murder weapon. Wait, you never touched the murder weapon? But it has your prints though. Wait, should I present this? What the fuck do we even present? Oh! So you say you didn't touch the murder weapon? This grape juice bottle? Right? So I said. Something the matter, Mr. Justice? Did I fuck it up? Too bad our new defense attorney never learned how to play dumb. What's this, Mr. Payne? I examined the bottle in question, you see, and it was covered with the defendant's fingerprints. Objection! No need to shout, Mr. Justice. I can hear you just fine. It says yelling can damage the judge's ears in our case. But what about my cords of steel? Anyway, what's so strange about fingerprints on a bottle in a restaurant? Well, that's true. The prints alone don't prove he did it. Apollo is a silly boy. He's still a noob though, right? Noob? Oh, they wouldn't prove a thing if they were normal fingerprints. Huh? But the fingerprints on the murder weapon, they're upside down? Upside down? What does that mean? It means he was holding the bottle inverted, and there can be only one reason for that. Yes, to brain someone with the bottle! Oh! Mr. Gavin, I think things just took a turn for the worst. Oh, I see no problem, Justice. He's still calm. Huh? The only thing that matters is the truth. There's a good reason for everything, you'll see. Defendant, can you explain your fingerprints on this bottle to the court? I stand by my plea of silence regarding the murder. For now. For now? Not very cooperative, are you? This could hurt your case. I'm sure he's uncooperative because he's hiding something. There must be some reason. Objection! Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten something. And what might that be, Mr. Gavin? On the night of the crime, who was it who reported the murder to the police? Reported? Well, that was the defendant. Mr. Wright, but still that... Really? Wait. Yes, well, according to the case file, the murder was reported from near the scene by a call from the defendant's cell phone. Near the scene? Let's take a look at the diagram of the murder scene, shall we? Okay. The victim was murdered in a small room in a basement 2 floors down from a ground level. Of course, cell phones can't get reception so far down. Defendants used the stairs in this hallway to go above ground. The call came from the first floor of the restaurant. I see, and this is the phone that made the call. Okay, defendants could have just fled the scene of the crime if he so chose. Used by the defendant to notify the police from the restaurant first floor. Let's check it out. Oh! Wow, the battery is being held in with a piece of tape. You should just buy a new one. Maybe he can't afford it, or he just doesn't care. Wait, that's it? Really? Poor Phoenix. What the heck? Oh man, it's so sad to see him like this, man. It is so sad to see him like this. The man, the legend, became a hobo. oh, Sag. Yet he fulfilled his duty as a citizen and reported it to the authorities. And you claim he is being uncooperative. Nice save, Mr. Gavin. I'd better not face this. I think the prosecution has toyed with our client enough for the time being. Toyed? I assure you, no one is more serious about... What was it you say? The defendant was in the room the very moment that the crime occurred. How can you possibly know this? That's a good question. How indeed? The answer is simple, Your Honor. The prosecution has a decisive witness. You're as good as they say you are. So someone else was in the room at the night of the crime? Dare? That must mean they witnessed the crime. Everything up till now has been a warm-up, Justice. Are you ready? Very well. The prosecution may call its first witness to the stand. The witness will state her name and profession. Hold on just a moment. Where's the witness? Right there! I surmise that she has been frightened by the defense's demonic-looking horns. Hey! Hoy! Because I used a little hair gel. Relax, people. Have no fear. If any horns point in your direction, this court will cut them off. Please don't cut them off. You are sure? I swear it on my gavel. Please come out. Is violence against hair of a crime, Your Honor? Well, if you are sure it is, okay. Why does she have so much clothes on, though? What? Wait a minute. Would the prosecution care to explain the witnesses and paraphernalia? And yes, she's a professional, Your Honor. Those are merely the tools of her trade. And that would be, my name is Olga Orly. I'm employed as waitress in Porsche Bowl Ball. I'm okay, keep saying Bowl Ball Club Restaurant. Then why the camera? Of course, it is my pride to serve Porsche, that is naming restaurant. But I also perform, how it is said, other service. I think one of these other services is taking the customers' pictures. Da-da, da-da, da-da. Oh, like for example this one. Oh, that's the defendant. Indeed. Oh, on the night of the murder, man in white hat is one who has gone kaput. Indeed, that is the victim. Well. Order! This is quite a piece of evidence to casually chop into our laps. In the same way as a trap called balls of Porsche on laps of customers. Casually? Then the court will casually accept this new evidence. Now witness, where were you at the time of the murder? The defendant and Mr. Smith at the Porsche Polo Club touched this. Yeah. Let's see, anything I can tell out of ordinary? To be honest, not really. Not really. 21! I was in the room, the hideout, we call it hideout. Hideout? Excuse me, the hideout? It is a room where famous gangster bad guy, is it called bad? Literally bad guy was arrested? Or bad guy. It's the room where murder took place. What? Your look of other surprises, it is lovely. I will post my courtroom door later for you. Da. Photos will be numbered and you will write which one you want copy of. So there were 3 people in the room at the time of the crime. 3! The victim, Shady Smith, Mr. Wright, and Olga Orley are witness. My gosh, she's the killer. She's the killer. And if Mr. Wright isn't the killer, that means... Very well, witness. You will testify to the court about that night's events. Okay, here we go. Here we go. That fateful night. That night, customer asked me to deal cards for a game. It was called Both Players Played with Hats On. Duh. The victim, he plays whole time with his hands on locket at his neck. Then, last hand is done, but something terrible has happened. Duh. That man flew at victim and he's strangling him to death? That doesn't... Incidentally, who won the game? Isn't it obvious? The winner was the victim, Mr. Smith. Objection! That's ridiculous. Because Mr. Wright can lose. Justice. Maybe you can come up with a more legitimate objection. But he hadn't lost in 7 years. Take it from me, kid. It happens. Did you know today is Mewtwo's birthday? Wait, today? 6th of February? I actually didn't know. I didn't know. Well, happy birthday to Mewtwo. That's canon. Oh. Man, I didn't know actually. I didn't lose a case my first 7 years as a prosecutor either. Wait, incidentally, I have some evidence here. Mewtwo. These are the poker chips as they lay the very moment of the crime. The hand and chips on this side belong to the defendant, Mr. Wright. Oh, full house. Those on the far side belong to the victim, Mr. Smith. Chips, you say? Duh. I mean, yes. Imagine that poker is war. Your hand is your army, and the chips are the spoils. I know that. After all, in my youth, I was known as the poker head of courtroom number 3. I think he means poker face. Looking at this picture, it does seem that most of the chips are on the victim's side of the table. Okay. Wait, doesn't Phoenix have a... I can't tell if that is a 7? 777? Probably, right? So it's a full house and full house. Technically. Okay, let's go. Okay. Let me check this one note. Time of death was around single blow to the forehead. Right? Single blow to the forehead. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, this doesn't make sense. Strangling when it was hit by the head, right? Single blow to the forehead? Liar! Oh, really strangled, you say? That's odd. The normal customer only choked on borscht. No, I mean, this report shows the victim died of a blow to the head. Ah! Miss Orley? Really now? Did you witness the crime? Eek! Damn, she caught that. Looking at the picture, it doesn't seem like he was hit. He's still wearing his hat and everything. Yet, it is a fact that he was hit, Your Honor. Oh, new picture again. Here's a photo we took of the victim with his hat off during our investigation. Well, that's quite shocking, isn't it? This head suddenly was hit. Duh. Bruh. Bruh, but what? I have seen it happen. Defendant, he launched at victim. His neck. Uh. If that is blood, right? Shouldn't there be a blood on this one too? Oh, really, Miss Orly? I think I've caught you in your own lie this time. Justice? I admire your enthusiasm, but perhaps you should think this through once more. What do you mean? I found a contradiction. There's one thing in her testimony that troubles me. Very well. It seems we should continue the cross-examination. There's such a thing as thinking too much. This horse is dead. Let's stop beating it. There's such a thing as thinking about aloud too much too. You say it loud? Okay, so we got the new picture. I gotta probably present it to something. Hats on, da. Wait, if they played hats on, that would make yeah. Right? I fucked up, Your Honor. Okay, I fucked up. I fucked up. Ooh. Hand on locket at his neck. What locket? There is no locket, right? Yeah. You know, there was one curious part in her testimony, just like Mr. Kevin said. But what does it mean? Mr. Justice, would you care to explain what it is you're thinking so intensely about? Recall the testimony, Your Honor. The victim played with his hand on locket at his neck. I believe she said. I hope you aren't about to raise an objection to the witness' grammar. No, but look at this photograph. Do you see a locket on the victim's neck? Okay, pretty okay song. Not as good as the OG. Well done, Justice. I'm impressed. But it's pretty solid. Pretty solid. I knew you'd be able to handle this. But what does it mean? If we are to believe this witness's testimony as is, and the locket disappeared following the victim's death, lockets don't just disappear, Your Honor. It's quite simple when you think about it. The locket is gone, someone must have taken it off, no? Taken it off? Wait, you don't mean the defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all. He was taking off his locket. Wouldn't that explain it? Defendant, what do you have to say to this? Say? Yes. I just noticed this, but you have something hanging around your neck, don't you? Oh no, it's a locket. Oh, you mean this? Yes, it's a locket with a photograph inside. A photo of my daughter? He has a daughter! Nani? Who's the mom? Come again? Mr. Wright, you have a daughter? We confirmed it at the time of the arrest. The picture in the locket is indeed Mr. Wright's daughter. So Mr. Wright has a locket too? Why don't I buy that this is just a coincidence? Yo! He has a child! Right now, if the results of this poker game led to the murder, perhaps we should hear a bit more about the outcome of the game. Further testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear the defendant lost badly. Miss Orly, you will testify to the court about the game played between the victim and defendant. Sauce? Saucy sauce? The game began with 3,500 points in chips for each man. House chips come in two sizes, small and large. The one who was winning, it was victim. For last hand, defendant play with all chips on table and lose. The moment loss was decided, defendant grabs bottom from table and... Indeed, looking at this picture, it does seem to be a one-sided game. As the court knows, poker was the defendant's life. Failure must have been a Peter's pill to swallow. How many times have I heard these words? I done it in a fit of anger, Your Honor, and now I regret what I done. A common tale but true. Methinks the judge watches too many old court movies. Meetings. Meetings? Mr. Wright said he hasn't lost in 7 years, so this testimony must be wrong. Serious competition. The game became okay. Small and large. Are the chips in this photo all the chips that were used? Da. No! Okay. We're back! Man, what the heck was that, internet? I lost connection, then it reconnected, then I already pressed restart the internet. And, oh man. That was very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Thanks. Now that I pressed her, I better ask something. Ask something. Ciperino. What are these chips worth? Are they in dollars or rubles even? Yet, as I have been saying before, it was a game, not gambling. Yet. Hard perhaps for capitalists to understand. Two types of chips, 100 points and 1000 points chip. It is not money, duh. Justice? Sir! Don't you find her comment interesting? In more ways than one, sir. I'd have it added to her testimony myself. Well, does the defense want the witness to add to her act? Yes, I do think this deserves further scrutiny. Added to a testimony, I wish I knew where I was going with this. Very well, witness, if you would be so kind. Your Honor. One could just worth 100 and other was 1000. Mr. Gavin said this one is important. To be honest, I have no idea why. Mr. Justice, do the court a favor and think of what you want to say before raising your hand. You're not in the kindergarten. Sorry, I'm fine. I'd better think of something to ask. And quick. The two types of chips. The small ones are 100 and the big ones 1000. Ah, right, of course. Ha! Don't waste our time. Okay, let me... Two kinds, right? Am I blind, but is the red one the further away a little bit smaller? In the victim's side? Or maybe it's just the angle, you know? Maybe it's just the angle. Is that all? Yeah. Great. Mr. Kevin made me stop her and now I'm the one who looks dumb. Oh, Justice. Please try not to embarrass me like that. Huh? Who? Me? There's a clear contradiction in the information you have in your hands. What? It's a simple matter of calculation. Go on, try. Calculation? We're not in kindergarten after all. Calculation. Oh. 100 points in order is 4,000. Oh, what if? What if, you know, the red one is the 1,001, right? And the black one is 100 though. So in that case, Phoenix would win though. Like, you know, right? You think about it like that? So, let me just see. Yeah. You sure was the victim who won? Absolutely sure. It seems our new attorney is a bit confused. A glance at the picture is enough to tell you who won, if you're not in kindergarten. Just for safety's sake, could you explain the problem to the court? Of course, Your Honor. In this photo, I see small chips and I see large chips. Tell me, which were worth 1,000 points? Why, the big ones, of course, duh. Oh, I thought so too. But then the totals don't add up. The totals? Let's review what the witness told us. Each man started with 3,500 points in chips, and the combined total value of chips was 7,000 points. Yes, if my calculations are correct, let's see. 3 plus 1 carry the 5. They are, Your Honor, now. We got this photo that allegedly shows all the chips. The big chips are worth 1,000 points and the small chips are worth 100. And you add them up. How much is it? Do it yourself. You aren't in kindergarten, are you? 10,600 points. These chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness's testimony. But why? How could this be? Exactly, Justice. Now that you know the what, you must determine the why. Right. There's only one possible way to explain this contradiction. Both were right. Each man began the game with 3,500 points. Both the chips are indeed shown in this photograph, and there can be only one answer. Well, what is it? The value of the chips was the other way around. What? Want to know what I think? The small chips were worth 1,000 points and not the big ones. Madness! Other madness! Show me that photograph of the chips again. There are 6 small chips and 10 large chips. Why, that does make 7,000 points when you add them up. Excellent work, Justice. Excellent work. It's almost as though you figured it out by yourself. Well, I'm just glad I was the one who said it. But wait! The value of the chips may be different, but that changes nothing. Indeed, the victim did have the large number of the chips still. No, he didn't. Oh! Exactly. If the small chips are 1,000 points and the large chips are 100, let's do a little math. Add up the points for each side of the table. Oh! The victim, Mr. Smith, had 2,900 points and the defendant had 4,100 points. Well now, it seems that Mr. Wright was winning that night after all. That's impossible! My client had even less reason to kill the victim, after all. He was winning! Yeah. Now, Miss Orley, you must have known the true value of the chips, since you were there at the scene of the crime, weren't you? Order! It appears our defendant has lost his motive, and Mr. Wright's supposed defeat never happened. We must now ask ourselves whether we can trust the witness's testimony. Excuse me, what is it, Miss Orly? I I did not want to be saying this, but actually, you see, see what, Miss Orly? What do we see? In the last hand, there was cheat. Of course, of course. A cheat? You don't mean a trick? Wait, or do you mean a scam? They're all the same thing. Yes, there was a cheat in last hand. That is why game ends with chips as they are. Great, just great. First we have lying, now cheating. Well, this case certainly has taken turn for the interesting. Witness, you will please testify to the court. Tell us about this cheating in the final hand. This lady cannot be trusted. The last hand, both men had full house. So I was right, full house. 777, split Phoenix 2. There is 4 of each card in deck from ace to king. If you look at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious. Not really, there's 2 aces with different, shapes. There's a heart there. Oh, that is a heart though, right? With the victim. Heart ace. So I don't see... The next moment, game becomes argument. Duh. The defendant's truth was exposed. He took bottle in his hand, pours Mr. Smith. This lady, man. Miss Orly, why did you not tell the court about this from the very beginning? I thought I smelled a cover-up here. Well, folks, it's time to throw back the covers. A full house is a very high-scoring hand. Not easy to make in many experience. That alone is enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics. Mr. Gavin, what's a full house? Lawyers these days, you don't know your poker? Hey, I know my poker. Can't say this bodes well for your case or career. What is this? Some kind of secret court poker ring? Justice. You know the terms 1 pair, 2 pair, and 3 of kind, yes? Yeah, no problem. 2 cards with the same number makes a pair, and 3 makes a 3 of a kind. Good. Now picture a hand with a 1 pair and 1 3 of a kind. That's full house. That doesn't sound very easy to make, does it? You can see each player's hand in this photo. Wow, they both have full houses. You forget, there's an easy way to make a full house and go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat. The defense may cross-examine the witness. If he did cheat in the last hand, that still leaves one important question. Mr. Wright, lost that hand? Who's ever heard of a professional conman losing when they cheat? Still don't... There's a 4 witch card in deck. From ace to king. Yeah? Today is clearly not my day, huh? I'm effing. I'm effing hard. What the hell? What the hell today, man? What have I done, huh? What have I done to F this bad? Oi. Oi, oi, oi. I'll leave that 1 million points with judge. How was it clear? Yeah, well, the defendant, he played a 5th ace. 5th ace? I still remember both hands very well. Mr. Sweet hand has 3 aces. Mr. Wrights too. Obviously, cheating was afoot, or perhaps I should say a hand. Your Honor, perhaps this can be added to the testimony without Mr. Payne's joke. Very well, the witness will add this to her testimony, please. Okay, yeah, this is contradicts with this, obviously. Yeah. It appears the witness is mistaken. Mistaken? But my name... Look, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony. That's the photo of the chips, is it not? Justice. Perhaps you ought to explain your point in a way that the judge can comprehend. In other words, use your finger to point out your point. Yes, please point out the contradiction in this photo. A particular point contradicts the witness's testimony. Right here! Miss Orley, in your testimony you made the following claim. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. But as you can clearly see, the victim's hand only held 2 aces. Well, maybe the witness was simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the 3rd ace in question. Take another look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant also had 2 aces in his hand. There's this 5th ace. I see cheating, alright, and it's going on right here in this courtroom. 2 aces in each player's hand does make 4 aces total. Hardly proof of a cheating. Wait, please. It is true. I've seen it. The 5th ace. There was cheating. I swear to you. That's odd. She must be lying. Yet she's the most sincere. I have seen her all day. You're right to trust your instincts. Mr. Gavin, who knows what lies in store for us in the trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion. What might that be, Mr. Gavin? If you don't mind, perhaps we might examine the actual cards? The cards? Mr. Payne? Yes? Players' hands that night were set aside as evidence, were they not? The defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court. Very well, the prosecution will submit this evidence. Which will you examine? The victim's cards or the defendant's cards? These cards don't prove a cheating was going on, nothing will. Now, which of these hands is more suspicious? Victim. It was just the victim's hand that changed over the course of the witness's testimony. Defense requests time to examine Mr. Smith's cards. Very well. Mr. Payne, if you would. Very well. Just like that? Nice. Just like that. Well, Sam's of Hastings, get to it, Justice. Yes, sir. Next time evidence, be sure to be read from all sides and angles. Yeah, try using the dials on the evidence viewer. Should give you a better perspective on the case. Okay, let's do this. Ha ha ha! What? Your Honor, look at this. One of the victim's cards. The back is a different color. That's impossible. Thought I put that card in Wright's hand. What was that, Miss Orley? No. Yeah, I merely said that I have... Your Honor. Mr. Gavin, yes. Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat at poker? To cheat. I'll tell you. One merely needs a friend, a comrade, shall we say. A dealer. Wait, so you mean this witness, Miss Orley? She's the cheater. A professional, I'd wager. You're a cheater! Order! Focus, Justice. Time to take advantage of her. I mean, of her mistake. Your Honor, please recall the testimony we just heard. That's impossible. But I put that card in Wright's hand. Ergo, Miss Olga Orley conspired to cheat, not with my client, but with the victim, Mr. Shady Smith. Oh! Okay, this is a catch-am. Not only did she cheated poorly. This is a catch-am, alright. Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and her victim. What? Wait, you don't mean Here's Apollo Justice Pursuit theme. This is good. It's good actually. Enjoy it while you can. It's criminally underused. Wait, really? No, underused? In this gameplay? The defense isn't accusing the witness. Miss Olga Orly, are you? Time for justice. Time for justice. There were 3 people in the room at the time of the incident. And if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means I am. I am. The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga Orly, of murder. Mr. Payne, where is your witness, Miss Olga Orly? It appears she has lost consciousness, Your Honor. Mr. Justice, Your Honor. It seems you have presented a new possibility to the court. One suggestion, a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith. And that means this court cannot pronounce a verdict for the defendant at this time. What? I did it. I held out. I see no point in prolonging the trial this day. The prosecution will need to make further inquiries. Okay, this is different. Man, that sounded Phoenix Wright, alright. I recognize that. Objection right away? That was Phoenix Wright. Mr. Wright? You can't end the trial here, Your Honor. Not yet. What nonsense is this defendant spewing now? Think, one of the cards had a different colored back. Don't you wonder what it means? What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raise the objections right when you're about to get off the hook? Ridiculous. Mr. Payne? You of all people should know. Mr. Wright has a talent for the ridiculous. Perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear things up. The fact about the game that fateful night. As was said before, we alternated between 2 decks of cards that night. That was said before. The 2 decks at the club have different colored backs, blue and red. 1 color per deck. Why use different colored backs? If you use the same color, the 2 decks might get mixed. You use different colors and they still got mixed up. You used the red deck for the last game. I see. But that's odd. For some reason, I have this impression that you were using the blue cards. Yeah, me too. I'm sure someone said something about blue cards. Whatever. In the end, 1 card of the wrong color got into the mix. Which means there was a cheating. Yes, a card slipping into the deck would seem to indicate cheating. Yet, this card raises 2 serious questions. Apollo. Yes? Let's consider the first question, shall we? Think, in the last game, when was the card swapped? When? There are 3 broad possibilities here. It could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder. Well, yeah, thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course it was swapped. Oh, it might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne, or it might not be. I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped? When was the card swapped into the deck? Wait, so it's a king, right? King. When? I should probably... Oh, I cannot... Oh, I can save. Nice. Wait, let me check on something. Yes. Yes. Skip all text off. The Japanese. Wait, skip all text? Wait, maybe I should get that on, right? I'm not sure. Let's see how it works. From chapter start, absolutely not. From save point. Let's see how this works. Okay, maybe was it... 3 options. I don't think it's during though. It could be before though. It could be before. It's either before or after. Perhaps it happened after the murder? What's that? Ridiculous. What's the point of cheating after hands have been shown? That's silly. Yes, but tell me, how do you swap cards during the game? I'll take silly over impossible. Take it from me, son. There's a lot of silly in this world, but very little impossible. Oh, even when the backs of the cards are different color, if you pulled that during the game, you'd be caught in no time. Oh, quite true. That would mean that the blue card in question was swapped after the hands were shown after the murder. Okay, this is going past silly and straight on to crazy. I ask again, what's the point of cheating after the game's over? Who would do that? Who indeed? That's one of the mysteries before us. Who would do it? There's another? Yes, a simple yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card? Who? The game and murder is done, the victim is dead. Only two remain in the room, alive that is. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and our witness, Olga O'Reilly. Okay, so who was it that swapped the red card for a blue? Someone else? The one who swapped the cards wasn't Mr. Wright, of course. And well, it doesn't seem like it could have been Olga O'Reilly either. What are you suggesting? That's hardly a logical conclusion, I'll admit. As the defense, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss Orley at this point. Yes, I know. But she was the one who dealt the cards, right? I just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong colored card. If the card was swapped during the game, it'd be obvious. Something you'd like to share with the court, Mr. Wright? Oh, my apologies, Your Honor. I was just thinking how much fun all this is. Fun? How about confusion? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. If the one who swapped the card wasn't the defendant, and it wasn't Miss Orley, who was it? Yeah, well, that is the question, isn't it? A third party, obviously. Precisely. Huh? I believe we are about to see this case take a new direction. A new direction? You'll find that indeed, after the murder, someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand. And that someone made two critical mistakes. I'm sure you're going to tell us that the first was swapping the wrong colored card. Because the one who did the swap didn't know two colors of cards were being used. The other mistake was the number on the card. Number? Right. The person replaced the fifth ace with a king. I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a fifth ace after all. All they knew was that the game had been won with a full house. But they picked up a king from the table and swapped it in. But there's one problem. According to our case record, this person doesn't exist. True, not until now, but you have to admit the possibility of a fourth person. Though it's a more than a possibility. There was someone else there that night at the scene of the crime. What? I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials. Ridiculous, Mr. Wright. This trial has proceeded on one central assumption, namely that at the time of the incident, there were only 3 people in that room. I believe this new evidence, shall we say, overturns that assumption. The problem is that you chose to conceal this information from the court. I suppose that is a problem, yes. Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess. Certainly, Your Honor. Very well, the trial will resume in 20 minutes. Damn, for a tutorial? It's a pretty long one, huh? I guess they're all this long. That was quite unexpected, Mr. Wright. To suddenly claim there was another person at the scene of the crime like that. I must ask, is it the truth? Well now, I think you would know the answer to that. Being mysterious, are we? Sadly, I have no time for mysteries. I'd only ask that you leave defending to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. I see, having mellowed Mellow it out one bit, Kristoff. Justice. Yes, sir. The judge has summoned me to his chambers, so carry on without me. You did well, Apollo. Can I ask you something? Sure. That locket you wear, is that really yours, Mr. Wright? You're wondering about the victim's disappearing locket. Here, you can take a look at it. That's a picture of my daughter in there. Okay, the picture of daughter? I'm just surprised to hear you had a daughter. Yeah. She looks pretty okay. Most people are. Perhaps you will meet her one of these days. One more question. The one who cheated that night, was it you? What do you think? Huh? You know what happened 7 years ago. What I did. What did you? It's not unreasonable for you to think I might cheat. I never, honest, but it is odd that he managed to go undefeated for 7 whole years. Want to know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker. Eh? You see, poker is all about reading your opponent. In that way, it's a lot like a court case. Poker is like a trial law. Figure out what your opponent's thinking, you win. Well, yeah, but that's harder than it sounds. I think not. Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end. Their body language can become a valuable source of information. You're kidding. That witness, for instance, Miss Orley. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice? No. Come on, who noticed that? Words, habits, twitches. It's all information for their reading. It's the secret to winning, Apollo. Someone taught me, and now I pass the secret on to you. Someone. But I'm not worthy. I mean, there's no way I'll pick up on these signals. No, you can do it. Huh? You just don't know it yet. What's he talking about? But you will, soon. Almost forgot. One more thing. About this case. You should know, I haven't told the truth to anyone yet. What? I knew it. The truth. I have my reasons, of course. All shall be revealed. And Apollo, I need you to be there, defending me. I need your power. My, power? I had no idea my cards of steel were that special. It's time. The real trial begins now. Do your best. To be continued. Around 14 p.m. Round 2. Court will now reconvene. As a witness, Miss Olga Orley recovered. Yes, Your Honor. Well, she's regained consciousness. Perhaps we can hear her version of the events again. That's the thing. You see, she's quite fatigued. You're looking a bit fatigued yourself, Mr. Payne. Sadly, fatigue is insufficient grounds for refusing to testify or prosecute. The defense would like to request that Miss Orley take the stand. Very well. The witness will take the stand. Perhaps you could repeat your name and profession. Or perhaps you'd rather admit that you're a poor liar and a poorer loser. Yeah, not. Oh. What the? Name's Olga Orley, that's the truth. I'm a pro dealer. People call me Olga Quickfingers Orley. Oh really? Want to know something else? I'm not really Russian, and my last name sounds like oh really. Oh wait, for real? Actually, Orley. Oh really? Orley. That's the truth. I hope you're satisfied. Man, her name is so dated. Oh, Olga, oh really? Remember, oh really was a thing? Not the oh really? Oh really ow? I actually know about it. back then. This is the this is the first time I'm hearing about it. Witness will tell the court that you were really up to that night. Oh, this? Oh! Oh, this one. Okay, yeah. This one I remember. Bruh. There, man. Man, how did I not recognize it? How did I not recognize? Oh, really? Oh, man. These names are always fun with in Ace Attorney. Shady. Like, very shady, man. Fine, we had a plan, see? Let me remind you that you are currently under oath. Man, these oath don't matter jack shit. Any further fabrications would have serious consequences. Fine. Right. Consequences, they say. Like I said, I'm broke. That guy, Smith, hired me to do what I do best. I was planted at the Porsche Ball Club several days prior to the night of the game, as a waitress. So you were in cahoots with the victim. Not that he needed my help. Smith is a well-known poker player in some circles. Winning wasn't the main purpose of this game. It was about destroying a legend, the unbeatable Phoenix Wright. The plan was simple, elegant, really. You see, we set up a traps of sorts. I was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand, and then deal 5 aces during one of the air games. When their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. He would then pull out the planted card and the trap would snap shut. You swap the cards. Exposed as a cheater and losing on top of it. It would have made a great double play. Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces. Indeed. Getting caught red-handed at cheating would cast a doubt on all his prior wins. A 7-year legend destroyed by one little card. That was the plan. Oh really, Orly? Oh really, Orly? Oh man, how droll. Droll. More like troll. Oh really, oh really? Man, now I can't unsee it anymore. But it appears you made quite a mistake. A mistake. I agree that the trap was elegant. Yet what happened to that blended card? Hey, that's right. He's lucky. I'll give him that. You'd have to be to slip free from a trap laid by Olga Quick Fingers or really. Oh really? God damn it! The witness would be much cuter if she dispensed with the evil mastermind shtick. Cute? Who wants to be cute? I'm not cute. I'm bad. You hear me? Bad. I'm a bad girl. I'm a bad girl. When you are tall through being bad, perhaps you could testify to the court. Tell us about this trap and how it was sprung. Okay. That night I planted the cards like I was supposed to, and Wright lost the last hand just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him, but the planted card was gone, the trap failed. The next moment, Wright picked up a bottle and swung it. It wasn't me who hit Smith, it was that no good cheating defendant. Really? A surprisingly frank testimony that still leaves us mostly in the dark. The trap was perfect, I tell you, perfect. If that rotten cheater hadn't messed it up, look who's talking. Well, the testimony for what it's worth, it is all yours, Mr. Justice. With witnesses like her, who needs criminals? And with our defendants like Mr. Wright, who needs prosecutors? The best laid traps. Wait, isn't that a little odd? What's odd? We searched Mr. Wright thoroughly and found nothing. Which means he didn't cheat. Which means he had no reason to strike the victim. Well... Oh, what was that? What was that just now? What the hell? Yeah, I sensed something. Something wrong, Mr. Justice? No, nothing, Your Honor. What to do? Should I press it little her? Yes! Miss Orly, you're hiding something. What are you talking about? You. Me. Quick fingers, Orly, hide something? Defense will refrain from baseless accusations. I have one question for the witness then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true? Well, of course it's true. I did see it. Honest. I saw it when Wright hit him. Again. I saw it when Wright hit him with my own eyes. I saw it. What's this weird what I'm getting? That witness, for instance, Miss Orly. She would touch the back of her neck. Oh, during the certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice? Touching her neck, was it? This is pretty interesting. Something new. This is new, alright. I like it. Whoa, what's going on? This sensation. It's coming into focus. There, that twitch. It's so clear. It's like I could perceive her habit like I couldn't before. Gotcha! Oh, is this your first perceived nod? Yeah. I know this is the first time. Gotcha! Miss Orly, perhaps you are unaware of this yourself. Unaware of what? Whenever you get to a certain part of your testimony, you touch the back of your neck with your left hand. My neck? So what? Is that a pen? No, that's a camera though, right? What indeed, Justice? I hadn't noticed anything of the sort. When she says that part of the testimony, she's subconsciously recalling something. Her body reacts to the memory, and she touches her neck. I'm sure of it. Memory? Would someone care to explain what she's babbling about? This is highly unusual, but let's ask the defense. You claim the witness is remembering something. Maybe you have evidence of this memory to show us? Habit is scratching her neck whenever she talks about the moment of the crime. So what would remind her most of the moment of the crime? Miss Orly, whenever you recall the crime that night, you scratch your neck. I've noticed it happen when you think about the moment of the crime. Moment of the crime? Must be some reason behind this habit of yours. I believe the weapon that left an irreversible impression on your neck is this. Is there a lock somewhere I can check? Probably not. But the weapon, huh? The weapon, there's only one weapon. Whenever she talks about the moment of the crime, she touches her neck. What reminds us more of that moment than this bottle, the murder weapon? But something doesn't fit. If you were only the witness to the crime, why would that make you touch your neck like you're in pain? What's he talking about now? It was Mr. Smith, the victim who was hit. Not you! This is a cross-examination, not a cross-wallet conjecture. The witnesses' habits, they're completely irrelevant. Justice. I'll admit, I'm a bit confused myself. This is certainly a unique cross-examination. I'll explain later. Just trust me, that's our only chance to break her. Miss Orly, please testify in detail about the moment of the crime. The very moment! Yet I am knowing nothing. We know you're not Russian. The witness will testify, please, now. Bah, fine. He's the one who did it. I didn't let him out of my sight until the cops got there. Interesting. You seem uneasy. You try sitting up here. Your eyes are darting all over the place. I must be getting warm. Tell me, after this crime, what was the defendant like? Oh well, he must have been stunned by the weight of his crime. He sat in the days at that table until the cops came. Hey, no. He called though. Yeah. Intriguing. I believe you are cutting out this. Yeah. Your testimony is flawed. It's specifically bogus. It contradicts the evidence. What's that? Well, show us this evidence, Mr. Justice. This evidence that you claim contradicts the testimony. She let him out of her cell until the cops got there. I know there's some evidence that contradicts that. Oops, hold on. Miss Orly, we have a record here that clearly contradicts what you said. It states that the police were alerted by a report from the defendant. And we know that the defendant left the room, climbed the stairs, and made that phone call from the first floor of the Borscht Ball Club. So explain how you kept your eyes on the defendant when he left the room entirely. The man who picked up a bottle and swung it that night wasn't the defendant. Okay. Showdown time? You dirty cheat! Check his pocket! Now! It's gone! The card's gone! Why would you say something? You lose! Oh! Just then, Smith grabbed the bottle from the next to right, and he hit me. Oh! You, some massive cheating you turned out to be. When I came to, the victim was already dead. Is that it? That's why I couldn't reveal who I really was. If it came out that I was in league with Smith, I'd be a suspect for sure. Well, where does this leave us? Madness! This is madness! I'm dreaming! It must have been me who was hit with a bottle, and I'm imagining all of this. Sounds like this Smith guy had it coming! Exactly. It appears our prosecution is at his wit's end, and frankly, I can't blame him. Mr. Kevin, what do you think about this turn of events? Mr. Kevin, sir? I believe that, as the defense in this case, we are compelled to call Miss Orly a big, fat liar. What? Three were in that room the night of the murder, the defendant, the victim, and her. And she has a motive. Motive? Her blood fault. The witness got into an argument with her client, Mr. Smith. And the denouement of that argument was murder. What? I'm no killer! It's a trap! Someone's trying to frame me! What tangled webs we weave when we practice to deceive. So tangled we catch ourselves in the process. Mr. Wright? Such a hasty conclusion. It's not like you, Christoph Gavin. What are you saying? Why not consider the other possibility? That there was another person in the room at the time of the murder. Who? Right, like Mr. Wright was saying before recess, a single card was swapped into the victim's hand after the murder. Like, I do remember Gavin said he did eat with Finis, right? With Finis that night? Before it happened, though. Right? At the start of the game? What? But... no way it's Gavin, though, right? No way it's Gavin the killer? Right? There's no way they would keep... Jumento would be the killer? Like, I remember he did say he was eating with Phoenix. You can't be. Alright, let's see. And the one who swapped the card didn't know two colors of cards were being used. A fourth person. Ha, this theory again, you fourth person doesn't exist. Indeed. That's why I decided to bring this case to court. Here, where there's no escape and no chance for deception. The perfect place to catch the real criminal. The real criminal? And we're in luck. A clue to the real criminal's identity was kindly provided for us. Right at the beginning of the trial, no less. What? Apollo, perhaps you know what I'm talking about. Sorry? Remember what I said. The fourth person who swapped the cards made one critical error. He or she wasn't considering the color of the backs of the cards. Right. But how could such an obvious mistake occur? The cards used for the last game were red. Yet, there is one person here in our court who thought those cards were blue. Yeah, I had that impression too, but why? Well, Apollo, think you can figure out who it was? It's not me, I swear. Who is this fourth person? Why do I always get put on the spot like this? Let's hear what the defense has to say. Who was it? Who thought the cards used in the final game was? Obviously that. No, no, and no. Gavin! Right? As I expected. Your eyes and ears are as sharp as your hair. I was right? Christoph Gavin, you were the fourth person that night. Monka him! There's no way! But, of course, Mr. Gavin knows the color of the cards. How would he? As you can see, the photo of the crime scene is black and white. You can't tell which of the cards are blue, the ones on the floor or the table. But, look! You can see the colors in this photo. No, you can only see blue up there. Yes, but when he said the cards were blue, it was well before this evidence came to light. It is true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker with the victim. It was only that a game in the person's a competition, Your Honor. A competition? Yes, a test of wit, silent, clash with passion, only the cards, their backs red in blue flame, you know it's a fun. Oh no! Well, Christoph? Mr. Gavin? Mr. Gavin, is something the matter? No, nothing. Excuse me, it was just so sudden. Oh my god! Right, you are seriously accusing me, are you? Oh, Christoph. You know even I'd never take a joke this far. See, this is why you keep your mouth shut. Yeah. He literally blurted it out. This has gone beyond ridiculous, beyond dumb. This is insanity. So far, these games, oh my god, I love it. The start, this plot twist, the defendant accusing his own defense attorney of murder. I assure you, I am quite sane. But what possible connection could Mr. Kevin have to the victim? I wasn't aware that I had a connection with Mr. Smith either. Yes, but Mr. Kevin and the victim have never even met. Well, what if they have? Huh? There is a possibility, after all. They may have met that night before the game started. What are you suggesting? Is this the truth Mr. Wright was saying something about? Well, only one thing to do. Mr. Wright, the defense would like to request that you testify to the court. Objection? The defense would like to request no such thing. Hey! Mr. Gavin. Testimonies must relate to the case. How could anything happening before that game of poker be related? So sus! I'm not sure I follow Mr. Gavin. As I explained before, the defense believes that Mr. Orley... Am I to assume you speak for Mr. Justice in this? He is the defense, not you. Mr. Justice, the matter of Mr. Wright's testimony is up to you. Oh, okay. Does the court, in your opinion, need to hear Mr. Wright's testimony? Absolutely! This was Mr. Wright's strategy. He was planning this all along. And I intend to see it through. The defense would like to request me that Mr. Wright testify to the court. Two? Justice, you would betray me? Your teacher? Is he... What is that France? Or what is that? Ed 2? Ed 2? I'm sorry, Mr. Gavin. This isn't about loyalty. This is about the truth. Very well. The defendant, Mr. Wright, will take the stand, please. Sorry, Mr. Gavin. That evening, Christoph and I had dinner. We sat at the table in this photograph. Shady Schmidt walked in 5 minutes after Christoph left. When the trap failed, Schmidt hit the waitress. The girl was knocked out cold and Schmidt was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. When I returned, he was dead. Blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. That's when I made another phone call to defense attorney Gavin. Mr. Gavin, you were at the Borscht Ball Club the night of the murder? I dined with him rather frequently. And he talked to the defendant on the phone directly after the murder? Quite against my will, I had become involved in the murder. I thought I might be in need of a lawyer, so I called him. You were planning this all along, weren't you, Mr. Wright? Just because you wanted to drag me into your little murder trial. The only thing I want is the truth. And as I did back then, and now. I thought my office was doing you a favor when we took on your defense. It appears that I was wrong. Very well, the defense may cross-examine the witness. Justice. Sir? He's lying, and you're going to expose him. Understood, sir. Mr. Gavin versus Mr. Wright. This can't end well. Why can't I have a normal trial? It's never normal, man. Okay, let's see. 5 minutes after Christoph left. Blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. Very true. Very true. Wait. But how could you see a blood? He still has his hat on though, right? Objection! Yeah. Mr. Wright, if I may. Yes. Take a look at this photograph of the crime scene. See the victim here? He's wearing a hat. I wouldn't think you could see the blood on his forehead. Good point. Justice. Next time you point out an inconsistency, put a little more into it. Mr. Wright, can you explain this to the court? Ah, I forgot to mention something. Who was the one who put that hat on his head? Eh? You put the hat on the dead man's head? He wore it through our entire poker game. After calling the police when he returned to the scene, his head was in full view, shining bright, just like in this photograph. And I picked his hat up off the floor and put it on his head. Why did you do this? Do a thing like that? All I can say is, I'm sorry. But that's the only thing I touched at the crime scene. But you have the fingerprints here. So Miss Ori didn't see it? It being the victim's his head. I think not. She was out cold. I believe I was the only one who witnessed his head. Ah, here we go again. Mr. Gavin? Pardon. It just seems that our client is determined to lie his way through his case. Hey, he's still our client, isn't he? In any case, please continue the cross-examination. I'm afraid decisive contradictions call for decisive evidence. Oh! Push him harder, Justice. Break him. Break him? It's just you and the witness in the ring. Go for the KO. Why do I get the feeling we're not on our client's side anymore? He changed suddenly. He fucking changed, man. Okay, but if he hit the waitress, why does he have your, you know... For this failed trap, this is the same trap that Miss Okan earlier mentioned. The plan was simple, elegant, really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts. What's the plan? Yeah. You swap the cards and... Yes, a harmless prank in essence. It was by a quirk of fate that I happened to discover it. A quirk. I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card. The card sheet landed. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was the 5 of hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game. Disposed? Where? There was an empty bottle of grape juice I had been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle? Wait. Wait, it's submitted as evidence by Prosecutor Payne. Oh yeah, Payne. There's no... An empty pile of grape juice. The murder weapon! But there's nothing... Yes, I roll it up and shove it in. The color glass makes it hard to see. A battle of wits between the deceiver and the would-be deceived. That sounds like a terrific drama. Card inside the murder weapon. This is strange. Did the police miss it in their investigation? Maybe I'll take a look. I already did. Mr. Wright, the poker head of courtroom number 3 approves of this battle of wits. Please revise your testimony with this new information. But there's nothing though, right? I'm not blind, right? It's completely empty. Mr. Wright, if I may. Yes? I've examined the bottle and I don't see any card in here. No? What, Mr. Wright? Surely, isn't all you have to say for yourself? I can't say that I know what happened to the card. I did put it in that bottle, however... Huh? Perhaps a fifth person came and took it out? Oh, and a sixth person could have helped? Mr. Gavin, Mr. Wright is your client. My apologies, Your Honor. I won't have you disparaging our investigation either. You looked inside that bottle, there was nothing. So what's going on? Is Mr. Wright hoodwinking us again? Or did the card just disappear? Pero that's enough of that. Mr. Gavin? This witness's testimony is more like a travesty. It is riddled with lies. He's trying to, rush this. I'm beginning to see how you came to lose your attorney's badge 7 years ago. Well, you certainly have a unique way of treating your clients, Kristoff. I never knew. I believe it was you who threw the first stone. Mr. Wright, if you intend to ever tell the truth about this case, it's now or never. Don't be misled. I haven't told a single lie here. Eh? When I noticed the trap, I put the card in the bottle to dispose of it. And when I put the hat on the victim's head, let's just say I had a reason for doing that as well. Ah, reason? That reason is right here. Your cell phone. That night. Recall that I spoke with Defense Attorney Gavin after calling the police. Just in case I recorded our conversation. What's this? Now that we are all here, I see no reason why I shouldn't play it back for the court. Kristoff, I seem to be in a bit of a trouble. What's this? Game's not going well? Something like that. That gentleman who challenged you, he turned out to be good? He turned out to be dead. Someone hit him. Hard. You mean someone cracked that flawless bone Sheena paid? It wasn't you, was it? Me, please. The cops should be here in a minute. I'm in your hands, should it come to that. Bone Sheena blade. A kind of porcelain, very smooth and shiny, and not blade but paid. Okay, so I believe it's referring to a certain gentleman's balding forehead. Yeah, how did he know he was bald if he had a hat on and where's the picture? Where they're together. See, he still even has a hat on either way inside too. So the court appreciates the defendant's discretion in not indicating my forehead. Wait a second, something's not right about that phone call. So after Mr. Gavin ate dinner with you, he left the Porsche Ball Club. Most certainly. Then how did he know? When did he see this? Bone Sheena paid. Oh, that's right. Yes, that was when I began to see my good friend in a different light. Troubled, I returned to the crime scene. When I spotted Mr. Smith's head again, I realized exactly what was wrong. Well, Mr. Gavin, the stage has been set. Perhaps you would like to explain this to the court. Exactly how did you come by your privileged knowledge of the victim's head? So, this is your reason? The reason why you put the victim's head back on? Your point, Mr. Gavin? It's come down to this, has it, Phoenix Wright? Order, I will have order. Mr. Payne? Yes, Your Honor. I believe this court has been left with no other choice. Are you prepared to hear defense attorney Gavin's testimony? Well, as the prosecutor, Very well, we'll break for 10 minutes. After which, Mr. Gavin will take the stand for a cross-examination. Are we all clear on that? Crystal clear, Your Honor. Very well, this will be the final recess for the day. Final recess! Mr. Gavin and Mr. Wright are both in the judge's chamber. Who would have thought today would turn out like this? May I? Oh, that's the kid! The daughter! Huh? What? Hello, sir, please pick a card. What's all this about? It's a red card! Is this one okay? Excellent. I have a message for you. The last hand is about to be played. You will need a trump card to make it. A trump card? The card you have chosen is magical. Use it wisely, and the game is yours. That's all. Oh, spade! Yeah. An ace. Where do I remember that card from? Okay, I got it. That's that, yeah. Uh-huh. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces and Mr. Wright's 2. It is 5 aces in all. There it is. True, I have seen it, the 5th ace. There's a cheating, I swear to you. The missing 5th ace. Wait, this blotch of red. Is this blood? You have your trump card. Now it's up to you to cut the check. Cut the deck and draw. The truth. My father's fate is in your hands. I know you can do it. This blood-stained card is my trump card for finding the truth. I fell deep into thought as my mind raced to understand what this all meant. That girl, I'd seen her recently, but where? Come on, you know, that's Phoenix's daughter. That's when I made the connection. That's right. Body ace. Single drop. Red side. Okay, that's it. Court will now reconvene. Defense attorney Christoph Gavin, will you please take the stand? Now then, if you would, Mr. Payne. Yes, Your Honor. The witness state his name and occupation? Is this farce necessary, Your Honor? Believe me, far stranger things have gone on in this courtroom. It sure has. Fine, I'll play along. First, there's one thing we need to have made clear. How did you know about the secret beneath the victim's hat? By secret, I'm guessing he means the fact that Mr. Smith was bald. Forgive my curiosity, but what is it about this fellow's head? Your Honor seems to have an inordinate interest in it.
Objection!
Oh! Oh! This song! Yes! Oh, I missed it, man. I missed it! This is it! This is the one! Yeah! Oh, it's been a while. Deja vu, man. This is the shit. I wouldn't go inordinate, Mr. Gavin. Woo! Mr. Wright, what do you think you're doing, Mr. Wright? Wow, things sure look different from the other side. You know what I mean, Apollo? Speaking of looking from the other side, let's consider something for a second. The victim who wore that hat all night, no one's taking it off except for that one time. That one time, being the instant he was hit. Oh! When Mr. Wright returned from reporting the crime, the hat was lying on the floor. Mr. Wright picked it up and placed it on the victim's head. In other words, in order to have seen Mr. Smith's bald head, you would have had to be at the scene of the crime at the time of the crime. In other words, you have to be the real killer. Is what you're trying to say? Not bad, Apollo. Mr. Gavin, I'm afraid that I haven't been entirely honest with the court. What? Oh, I assure you. You and I had the noblest of intentions. I did it all to protect my client, Mr. Wright. Yet, I'm afraid in the current situation, I see a little reason to hide anything. Very well, allow me to tell you the truth of what happened that night. Finally, you may begin your testimony. Tell us, how were you involved in the events of that fateful night? The rage I sensed in that man that night troubled me, so I returned to the club. I went down to the basement and peeked in through the little window to the hideout. It must have been right after the murder took place. The victim was dead, as he appears in the photo. A bald head, an unconscious girl, and Wright, holding a bottle in his hand. I sensed that was not the best place for me to be at the time, and so I left. It's when the call came from Wright. So, you witnessed the murder? Or better or worse, I missed the actual moment of the date. Mr. Gavin, may I remind you that you are on Mr. Wright's defense team. The testimony is clearly disadvantageous to your client. What else could I say? I'm standing on the witness stand, after all. So you are, Mr. Gavin. And you had to testify as you just did. You had to tell them you saw the scene of the crime through that little window. Mr. Wright? You had to say that. Because that was the only probable window of opportunity. Right, Apollo? Oh! Can it really fit through that little window, though? Mr. Wright, the defense should do the cross-examination, not the defendant. Mr. Justice, are you prepared? Yes, Your Honor. I can't believe I'm going to up against Mr. Gavin. This trial is getting weirder and weirder. Alright. Really though? Those were the only three at the scene of the crime? Yes, as far as I saw at least. Then we are back where we started. The killer was the defendant, Phoenix Wright. Who else could it have been? But why didn't you talk to the police? 2 reasons. First, I didn't actually witness the very moment of the crime. Second, my office was asked to defend Wright. Even after seeing what I had seen, I couldn't abandon my friend. There must have been someone else there at the moment of the crime. Justice. I just said I saw no one, not a soul. But that goes against what Mr. Wright said. Ah yes, this mysterious fourth person. Who would conveniently be the real killer, I suppose. Got to see if we agree, Mr. Gavin. Let me pose a question, then. Tell me, what possible reason did the real killer have to swap cards in the victim's hand? Perhaps you can show us a reason why such a thing would be necessary. Oh, the card! How can I show something? I can't find myself. Remember, Apollo, the card that was swapped out was the 5th ace. The 5th ace, right. Well, Mr. Justice, the question of why the killer would swap out a card has been raised. Can you point to a reason? Show evidence. It's now or never. The defense would like to present evidence to the court. Evidence showing the reason why a card was swapped out. Then go ahead and point out your reason, Mr. Justice. Why did the killer take the 5th ace? Take that. My reason is, this. Is that an ace? Why, it's got blood on it. Right next to a spade. What? Ha ha ha. This is insane. Why wasn't I told about this? Why? Could this be the missing ace? 5th ace. Inconceivable! How could you? What are you doing with that card? Well, that's the thing. Why Mr. Kevin upset? Just a fishy card from some fishy girl. Oh, that card? It's mine. That is, I picked it up at the Porsche Ball Club that night after the murder had occurred. Give it to my daughter. Cards are her stock and trade after all. No, impossible. Unacceptable. The court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud. A fraud? How can you be so sure? What? I would think the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real car from the crime scene. The real killer? Allow me to elaborate. What if this trace of blood was the reason? The reason for the killer to take the card from the scene of the crime? Where are you going with this? Take another look at the photo and at the victim's head. At the moment of the crime, his hat fell to the floor and a trickle of blood ran from his forehead down the back of his head. Couldn't that drop of that blood have fallen on one of the cards? I suppose the killer then took the card to hide the blood. Regardless, that evidence is non-permissible. Oh? Right, regardless of how you've raised the last 7 years, you used to be a lawyer. You know what a serious crime it is to conceal evidence. Oh, we can discuss the finer points of our legal system later. What's important now is that I have answered your question. What are you talking about? You wanted to know why the killer would have taken a card from the crime scene. Now I have told you. That one drop of a blood would have been decisive evidence, you see. This is baseless conjecture, baseless! Oh, I assure you, it's quite based. What? It's amazing, really. How a single drop of blood on a single card can lead us to the truth. It's quite simple. Well, Apollo? Yes? Try picturing the scene of the crime. In your head. What? The murder took place in the hideout. The body of the luckless victim was found at the poker table. And before the killer swapped a card out, there was a single card with a drop of blood on it in the victim's hand. Given this, there's one decisive problem with this scene. Well, what is it? Let's keep it simple, shall we? Given that there was a drop of blood on a card, whose position in this diagram doesn't fit? The victims, the killers, the witnesses, the second witnesses? Whose position doesn't fit with the bloody card? Oh, I can't save! Whose position? What is this? Oh no. With the bloody card. The cards are here, right? And the blood would go from my head. It was like this, and you know what? 50-50? Well, isn't it the victim's position that's the problem? I don't follow your logic here, Mr. Justice. Well, look, the victim was struck on the head, staying him back on in his chair. You think any blood would fall behind the body, not onto the table in front of him? Yeah. Oh, and take a look at the photo again. If he played in this position, the blood would fall onto the floor, not on the cards. Why, that's right. So, what does this mean? Incident. Totally, we were sitting in swivel chairs. Swivel chairs? Oh man. Apollo tried turning the chair around. What? How do I... Turn the chair around? Oh, shit! Like that. The chair was facing the other way. It would have to be. So, we have to assume that at the time of the murder, the victim's chair was facing away from the table. When Mr. Wright returned from informing the police, which was the chair facing, When I came back to the room, the body was facing as seen in this photo. That would mean the killer turned the chair back around. Let's take the next step. Look at the diagram once more. We know now the victim was facing away from the table at the time of the murder. But this creates another significant contradiction. Again? Let's test your reasoning skills again, shall we? Apollo, whose location on this diagram contradicts our new understanding of the crime? The victims, the killers, the witnesses, the second witnesses. This location creates a contradiction if the victim was facing away. Ah, the killer, right? He was struck from the front, correct? Indeed. Well, wouldn't it be hard for the killer to hit him from the front? Sitting where his indicator currently is, I would think it'd be quite a hard yes. Objection! Yes, but what you're saying makes no sense. Why would the victim suddenly turn to face the wall in the middle of a game? I believe it has sufficient reason. It will soon come to light. What? There's something in this diagram that makes far less sense, actually. Look again at the diagram. Apollo, if the victim was struck while he was sitting as shown here. Where would his assailant be standing? Try marking on the diagram. What? But there's no room to put a mark where the killer should be. Don't worry, let's think it through and see what we find. We know the victim was facing towards the wall at the time of the crime. That's the only thing we know for sure. Try to forget about everything else. Where would the killer have to be standing to strike our victim from the front? Literally in the front. No? You have to be standing, well, here. No, you get points for flair, but that's about all you get. I thought I was onto something there too. I hardly need to point out that standing there would be impossible. The victim is facing a solid cupboard. Or are you claiming the killer climbed the cupboard and hit him up from above? Huh. It's simple logic, really. If this was the only place the killer could have been standing, then that means that at the very moment of the crime... Wait, I know. At the moment of the crime, the cupboard wasn't there! What's this now? I mean, that's the only explanation, right, Mr. Gavin? Your Honor, I have a suggestion for the defense. We should arrange to examine the cupboard in the hideout. Immediately! Bailiff, send a team to the crime scene immediately. Have them try to move the cupboard. Your Honor? What? There's one more thing you men should look for. Please give this to the bailiff. Yes, I see. You do belong in the courtroom after all. Mr. Wright, I do my best. But let's forge ahead here while we wait. Look at the diagram once again, it's been changed. If the killer was standing here at the time of the crime, then this cupboard wasn't here. Which means, Apollo, try moving the cupboard. Okay. Removed, thank you. As you can see, the cupboard was the problem. And the time of the murder, it has to have been as shown here. Now everything is in place to reconstruct the moment of the crime. Oh my. What's this? What is it now? Look at the diagram of the crime scene once more. It appears we have found yet another contradiction. What I believe to be the final contradiction. In fact. Huh? Oh dang. Notice something, Apollo? Oh, notice something? I do notice. Our line of deduction is rapidly approaching its logical conclusion. Now then, Mr. Justice, please point to a new contradiction indicator. Is it the victim, the killer, the witness, the second witness? Which indicator in this diagram contradicts what we know about the crime? It's, you know... Yeah, it has to be this. It's in the way now. You can't see. About this cupboard, are we all okay with assuming it was moved? Sure, why not? Well, if it was, something really doesn't fit. The cupboard would completely cover up the window to the stairs. Oh, that's right. Someone standing outside wouldn't be able to see in. Someone like Mr. Gavin. What? What did you say? Oh, is the coolest defense in the West losing his cool? Don't expect me to play along with your little game, right? It's only a game until someone gets killed, Mr. Gavin. And someone was. Well, the window to that room was blocked by a cupboard. So, Mr. Gavin, perhaps you'd like to explain to the court exactly where did you witness the crime scene from? Excuse me, Your Honor. Order! This is a court of law and I will have order. We just now received word from our investigative team at the Borscht Ball Club. They have examined the cupboard in the hideout, Your Honor. Oh, and what did they find? Well, Your Honor, it turns out there is a secret passage behind it. What? Ah, yes, I believe I mentioned something of the sort before. This is one of the tricks to their room many of our regulars know about. I do remember him saying something about that now that he mentions it. Secret passage is a handy thing to have when you are engaged in illegal goings-on. Never know when you might need to duck away from the eyes of the law. So the room has a secret passage. Where does it go? The other side connects to that restaurant above. The underworld passes could get away with from the cops. And enjoy a gold bowl of borscht, no doubt. Just like our killer. You see where a line of simple deductive reasoning has led us, Apollo? I see it, but I don't believe it. That girl wasn't kidding when she said I needed this trump card for the last hand. At the time of the murder, the window was blocked and the victim's hat was only off his head for the few minutes between Mr. Smith's murder and Mr. Wright's return from calling the cops. In other words, the only place anyone could have seen the victim's bald head was from inside the hideout. Well, Mr. Gavin? Come on, say something. There, I asked what really happened that night. Actually, I think we can probably figure it out ourselves at this point. That night, for whatever reason, our killer had a date with Mr. Smith, a date with destiny. There he crouched, hidden in the secret passageway behind the cupboard, holding his breath, waiting for just the right moment. Then the chance came, and he took it. Oh! Eee! What? Why did you do that? Wait here, I'll get up. Miss Olga Ori was out cold, struck by Mr. Smith. But his time was soon to come. Mr. Wright went upstairs to call the cops, leaving Mr. Shady Smith alone in the hideout with the unconscious dealer. Then our killer stepped out from the secret passage and into the hideout. The victim must have heard the cupboard sliding aside. He wheeled his chair around to look in. Bang! After the deed was done, the criminal must have seen the blood on the card. We of course realized the need of destroy the evidence. That single spot of blood told the whole story of the crime. Too bad for him he didn't linger any longer in the hideout that night. If he had, he might have noticed the cards on the floor. And the fact that they were all red! Well, it seems this trial has taken another turn. I'm truly sorry I had to see this day come, Mr. Gavin. Mr. Gavin! Mr. Payne! Yeah. Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution will continue in its investigation. As for Mr. Phoenix Wright, the defendant, he is hereby declared of all suspicion. Believe me when I say that I don't believe this is happening, Mr. Gavin. But I'm afraid circumstances call for me to issue a warrant for your arrest immediately. Oh, no need to apologize. I rather enjoyed myself. It's not over yet, huh? It's not even every day you get to witness a legendary attorney's dirty tactics firsthand. Your point, Mr. Gavin? Frankly, Your Honor, I'm shocked that a person of your caliber would be taken in by such a low-grade parlor trick. Excuse me? The defendant is cleared of all suspicion. This is hardly time for jokes, Your Honor. Mr. Wright hasn't proven anyone's guilt or innocence here. What he has done is to use illegal evidence to put the blame on someone else, not just anyone else. but me, his own defense attorney. Illegal evidence. Let me ask you, Mr. Gavin. Is there still any reason at present to suspect me of wrongdoing? Of course. This bottle, for instance. The bottle of grape juice Mr. Wright was drinking? How do you intend to explain and await the fingerprints on the murder weapon? Not just any fingerprints. Am I right, Mr. Payne? Actually, yes. The fingerprints on the bottle were upside down. I seem to recall this being an issue earlier. The court, in this case, demand an explanation. I can think of only one reason why one would hold a bottle upside down, and that is to hit someone with the bottom of the bottle. Well, Your Honor. See how the codfish squirms to the last. Well, Apollo? Yes? Your boss seems awfully concerned about this bottle still. But I'm sure you can come up with a suitable explanation. Just like that. Yeah? Just like what? Or would anyone grab a bottle upside down other than to... Don't let him trick you into thinking his explanation is the only legitimate one. Is there really another? Hydrate, take another look at the court record. I believe you'll find a simple answer there, in a plain sight. How about you just say the answer in plain words? It would be hasty to deliver a verdict with unanswered questions. Indeed. Well, Mr. Justice, the Kevin said that the court in this case demands an explanation. Don't worry, justice won't leave until justice is done. Perhaps the defense would care to enlighten the court. What evidence do you have to explain why the fingerprints on the bottle are upside down? Right? If you upside down, he would pick up. He would pick. It's like that, right? He would pick. There's nothing else. There's a bottle there too. Let me just try this. It's actually easy to show you to explain, Your Honor. Oh, I was right. Place the bottle on the floor next to your chair. Excuse me. Oh, on the floor. Yes, now reach down and pick it up. Without getting out of your chair. Oh. See, you naturally go pick up the bottle by its neck. With your fingers. Upside down! Look at this photograph taken on the night of the murder. The defendant, Mr. Wright, sat here, playing piano. Bottles of grape juice on the floor to the side of his piano bench. He would have naturally picked up the bottles upside down several times. Wow, I can't believe it was that simple. Recall our dinner that evening, Christoph. I was drinking my usual juice then too. Basically, you used the bottle on the table to do the deed. But then you must have remembered. So you went and picked up one of the bottles from under the piano. And you switched the bottles. You took one of the Mr. Wright's bottles and made it look like the murder weapon. Order, order, order! What do you have to say to these charges, Mr. Gavin? Fascinating. So this is the legendary attorney's famed tactic of misdirection. What? You claim that I switched the bottle? Where is your proof? Proof? Well, that's, as I thought, more baseless conjecture. You know, this is proof enough, right? If he hit the bottle, there should be blood though, right? Like, that's what I suspected at first, there's no blood. So that means he really did switch the murder weapon. If I'm not wrong. I'm afraid your bottle of proof is quite empty. I wouldn't be sure about that. How? Your Honor, when you initiated the investigation of the hideout earlier, you recall I requested an additional investigation. Oh, yes. I have your memo about that here. Retrieve the bottles from under the piano at the Borscht Ball Club. And here's one of the bottles in question. What, are you going to dust that for fingerprints too? I would be surprised if anywhere on that is. Mr. Kevin probably wouldn't make such a novice mistake, true? That bottle wasn't won't bear a trace of anything. Say, Apollo. Yes? Why don't you go ahead and examine that bottle? But why? Just humor me. Mr. Wright. That bottle will solve this case once and for all. What? That's some bottle. Oh! It's a card there! There's something inside the bottle! What's this? That card, it can't be! Recall that unpleasant woman's testimony from a moment? Miss Olga Orally? Yeah, our little swingling Devotchka. Devotchka? That night, I planted at the card like I was supposed to, and Wright lost the last hand just like he was supposed to, then Smith searched him. But the plan, the card was gone, the trap failed. Wait, this isn't... You're telling me that this is the planet card you disposed of? The one you mentioned in the piece of testimony. This piece of testimony. I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was a 5 of hearts. I had a feeling something might have been, so I disposed of the card before the game. Into the bottle. The 5 of hearts. This is the card. The bottles were swapped. The only one who could have done that was the 4th person in the club that night. You, Mr. Christoph Gavin. Oh, it's gonna change. Got him! That is all. Is this your idea of revenge, Phoenix Wright? Revenge? Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago. My past is like my logic, straight and true. Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger of justice in the proper direction. Fine. I'm glad we could have this little... Teeth? A-teeth, right. How do you spell that? This is insane. What about me? Don't I get to prosecute anyone? Poor Pain. I believe this time we have finally come to the end of our trial. So my guess is probably, you know, they're gonna have to tell, you know, at some point we will get to know what happened to Phoenix 7 years ago, and why he lost his attorney's badge. But this time we have finally come to the end of our trial. I'm very curious. Mr. Payne, do you have a report for us on Christoph Gavin? He's admitted everything we're processing in his arrest now. I see still one has to wonder why he would do such a thing. He didn't even have a connection to the victim, did he? And none that we know. Mr. Wright, have you anything to add? I'm afraid I can't shed any more light on the matter. About this victim, Mr. Shady Schmidt. His occupation was listed as a traveler. An odd profession to be sure, and that's all we know about him. I'll arrange a follow-up investigation, Your Honor. Good. Mr. Wright? Yes? 7 years, and you still haven't lost your touch. Christoph Gavin was a man with much significance for me, both as a friend and a lawyer. He was extremely talented, to be sure. I needed 2 things before I could confront him. The first was a place where no injustice would be tolerated, this courtroom. The second was a man who would tolerate no injustice. In other words, a defense attorney. You, Apollo. Me. This is a dark time for our legal system. A twisting of justice brought on by our very own initial trial system. We have to set it right. Mr. Wright. Our work lies ahead of us. And I, for one, am looking forward to it. Well, this seems like a good time to announce the verdict. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright, Not guilty! Woohoo! Court is adjourned. Thanks, Apollo. You came through just like I thought you would. I'm pretty sure I didn't do a thing in there. It was you who cornered Mr. Gaff, the killer. It is kind of weird though, in a way, you know, playing a new main character and it's not Phoenix Wright. You know? Like, the great Ace Attorney, that I kind of understood. But in a way, it was Phoenix Wright, but as he's, you know, Manchester. I couldn't have done it by myself. You sent it too today, didn't you? Your ability. Ability? Yes, a sensitivity I lack. You'll come to understand it soon enough. Wait, I wonder if it means... Perceive! Wait, is this true? Yeah, perceive, right? Weird vibe I'm getting. It's got some kind of superpower. What was that, Mr. Wright? You have to find the answer to that question yourself. The answer? Right. Today was full of questions without answers. Most of them about Mr. Gavin. What possible reason could he have had to commit murder? Perhaps you'll learn that in the days to come. Huh? Wait, you don't know, do you? This locket is the key. Huh? Oh, that reminds me. I met the girl whose picture is in your locket. Your daughter, right? That's right, she's my daughter. You know, you were right about this locket. Eh? I took this off his neck the night he died. What? Huh? Huh? Then... Huh? Then is the daughter not really his and it's this guy's daughter? Or what? What the fuck? But it looks like our dear Russian scam artist saw me. So the truth is this locket really did belong to him. Hey! Then what the... Wait, but that's Berturi. You testified. You said that locket was yours. Is there no such thing, actually? Huh? I merely said that it was a locket with my daughter's picture inside. A subtle distinction, but a distinction nonetheless. And it's the truth? Wait, but then why? Why was the victim wearing a locket with a picture of your daughter inside it? Sometimes the straightest path to the truth isn't the best one. Give it time. You're still just getting started with your career. Speaking of which, I may be out of job. I work for Gavin Law Offices after all. I still can't believe I just saw Mr. Gavin get led away in handcuffs. Apollo? Yes? How about coming to work for me? Eh? You mean at the Wright and Call Law Offices? I mean, there's not a single attorney in my generation that doesn't know it. I can imagine that to be true, but... Wait, but didn't you... You're not a... Oh, I turned in my badge, yes. You're not an attorney anymore? That incident 7 years ago. That legendary trial. And at the middle of it all was one man. Phoenix Wright. The case reaches its sad conclusion and he left the law for good. Have you ever thought about coming back to the courts? I'm not qualified to stand in a court of law, I'm afraid. Did you notice in today's trial, there was a single piece of forged evidence? What? Forged evidence? What are you talking about? I'm talking about evidence that shouldn't have existed. A naughty magician's trick. Hmm? One piece of evidence struck me as odd, it's true. It just seemed well too perfect. I'll bet this was the forged evidence. It has to be this one, right? This is the daughter cake. You mean this, don't you? I got this from your daughter, Mr. Wright. Yes, that card couldn't have been found at the crime scene. Why? Because the killer took it with him when he left, leaving the wrong card in its place. Luckily for us. He forged it. The court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud. A fraud? How can you be so sure? Oh my god. My verdict was already handed down 7 years ago. Then, you really... Yes, I forged this card. One look at the crime scene should have told you it wasn't real. But you can't do something like that and call yourself an attorney. Who's calling themselves an attorney? Apollo? So it's true. The rumor is true. 7 years ago. None of that matters much now, does it? Did he slap him? Punch him? I punch him. Oh! It's your story from here on out, Apollo. Perhaps I can help you turn the next page. My office is address. Drop in if you like. Mr. Wright. Oh, about your uppercut. Try yelling. Take that next time. I found it packs a little more punch. Take that! And Apollo, thanks for today. I had a good time. And with that, Mr. Wright walked out the door. And that's how my first trial ended. A lot of my mysteries went unsolved. And at the time, I had no idea they were all related. We were mystery that day, connected by a single thread of logic. I find that out soon enough. My name is Apollo Justice, attorney at law, and this is how my story begins. The end! A brand new episode has been added. Turnabout Corner. It's all turnabouts, huh? Episode 2. Oh, okay. As long as we draw bread, the wheel of fate turns. Oh! Okay. Very interesting. Spinning big crimes and little crimes together. And when the wheel stops. Oh, somebody shot! You die. June 15th. Okay, Wright and Cole Law Offices. 2 months have passed since Mr. Gavin's arrest. My first trial, and I lost both my mentor and my job. Yeah, I'll admit it. I was screwed. But even when I hit bottom, I told myself I'd never come here. Honest. Here being the legendary Wright and Cole Law Offices. Okay, Justice, time to stop trembling. Ah, you must be here for the interview. Right this way. Huh? Hello there, you found the right place. Right place? Welcome. What's with this girl? Well now, shall we begin? Begin? What? Right, first things first. Any special talents? Talent? Yes, well, you must have at least one. Well, I guess... Defending? An unusual talent, but it'll do. A little jazzing up, of course. You think so? Let's give it a go, shall we? Huh? Go ahead, show me defend. Just give me all you've got, don't hold back now. What are you talking about? I can't just defend here. First lesson, a professional can perform anywhere. Thanks. We want people to be laughing with us. Not at us. Thanks. But I'm not sure why they should be laughing at all. What? What exactly do you think you came here to do? What? Defend? Nope. Excuse me, but do you know where you are? Huh? The Wright and Cole Law offices, right? Oh, I was afraid of that. Don't worry, you are not the first. Look, what's going on here? Who are you? I came here to meet with the person in charge. Well, you have apparently made no fewer than 2 mistakes. Mistakes? But I got a call from Mr. Wright this morning. Perhaps you should go read the sign out front again. What's there to read? Look, it says right there. Oh. Why does it say Wright Talent Agency? Welcome to the Wright Talent Agency, where you have always come to the right place. I'm Drew C. Wright, CEO. I'm a magician. It all came full impact. The trial of that girl. That's right. She's my daughter. Juicy. Right. 15, huh? Apparently the daughter, apparently. Former an ace defense attorney of some renown. Here, check out our flyer. So, what's your name? Apollo? Apollo Justice, attorney at law. Oh, it works like this, huh? Okay. Click up top. So, is this really a talent agency? You bet. Daddy started 7 years ago when he quit law. Of course, we only have 2 people signed up right now. 2 people? Does that include you? Trucy, right? Magician extraordinary. I've done a lot of stage shows. 2? I'm a professional, you know. Right. Promise you come to one of my shows, okay? Let's see. Oh, and the other person our agency represent is Felix Wright, pianist extraordinary. With that, in other words, he say he couldn't play the piano. Our agency doesn't see that as a problem. Why? There are many magicians who can do magic. At least you are optimistic, I'll give you that. So you are you're Phoenix Wright's daughter. That's right. After Daddy quit law 7 years ago, I promised I would keep him fed. So I'm kind of his sugar daddy, get it? No. I'm in charge of this whole office too. Pretty amazing for a young lass of 15, wouldn't you agree? 15? How old is Mr. Wright? Daddy? Oh, he's 33 this year. I'm sure there's a good explanation. I know! Huh? The age about Mr. Wright giving up law. It was because of that incident 3 years ago, wasn't it? Eh? You know about that? Not the details. Remember the news though. It was a big deal. So I hear. I was too young to understand what was going on. I'll ask Daddy about it next time I get a chance. Daddy, right. That reminds me about Mr. Wright. He gave me a call this morning to come in. Daddy's not here right now. He's in the hospital. The hospital? Yeah, he's on strict bed rest until he gets better. What? Okay. Which hospital is Mr. Wright in? I'll pay him a visit. Oh, the Hickfield Clinic? It's quite close. Right, well, I'll be going now. And I'll give this showbiz gig some thought, okay? Wait, I'll go with you. So, this is Mr. Wright's hospital. Visitors area? Yeah, are you the doctor? Yep, Dr. Hickfield's the name. Hehehe. Good morning, doctor. Oh, hiya there, Trucy. Cute as ever. Is this Daddy's room? Oh yeah, except he's gone for a morning checkup. Be back soon. How are you, Miss Trucy? Got any places you like examine? Doctor? Doctor, the nurse was looking for you. Why, if it isn't the daddy or the cutest little thing in town? Guess I'll be up then. Later, Trucy. Wow, what an odd bird that guy was. Good morning. Didn't expect you so soon, Apollo. Mr. Wright. What happened? So what happened? Who could have imagined it? Me, victim of a hit and run? You were hit by a car? Oh, he tried to swear? I'll give him that. Picture me tossed 30 feet through the air. Only stopping when my head hit that telephone pole. Hit a telephone pole with your head? Are you okay? Thankfully, my only injury was a sprained ankle. You really as lucky as they say. There's something that, well, it just doesn't sit right. I just can't believe you have a daughter, Mr. Wright. And she's so big, not fat, but you know what I mean. Oh, Juicy's still a child. Daddy, how many times do I have to remind you? I'm not a child anymore. But you'll always be Daddy's little baby girl to me, Juicy. My foot. I'm not buying it. Oh, something you should know about Juicy. She's a magician, right? She told me. Not a mere stage magician. She's a genius. Oh, Daddy. You'll soon come to appreciate her talent. You could just tell me things instead of insinuating them. So why did you contact me? What could the Wright talent agency possibly want with me? I need to get prickly now. Hey, I didn't ask to be tracking like this. How about didn't you come into the office of your own free will anyway? Well, yeah, of course. Help! We're in big trouble here at the office. Big! thought someone was dying. So you don't think this is big trouble? My talent agency represents only 2 people, and one of them is in the hospital. That's right, Daddy. How are we going to pay this month's rent and the groceries? Yeah, that's the problem with such a tight population. It's a symbiotic relationship. When one of us falls, the other 2 must fall. Hey, this isn't exactly a suitable conversation to be having with a 15-year-old kid. In any case, if Apollo here can help you, you'll have to transfer to a new school again. No, I can't. I only just made friends. How could you do this to us, Polly? Huh? What? Now it's my fault? Oh, that no. On that note, how about you come work for us? I got the perfect client for you already lined up. A client? You mean I get to do my job? I get to defend in court? Alright, I'll hear what you have to say. You got him, Daddy. Hook, line, and sinker. Now it's time to reel him in. It's official. I'm scared. Alright, so who's the client? Ah, yes, here. Take a look at the map and I'll explain. Last night I left the office just before 9 o'clock. Was going to that Indochine pasta joint, al dente. Al dente. Okay, man. These fucking names. Oh my god. Al dente. I played piano there, of course. That's when it happened. The car sent me flying, nicked a telephone pole, and zooms away. Creepy, huh? Just a tad. It's almost as creepy as hearing you tell the story like it was no big deal. The car sped off in this direction. So, good luck. Huh? You wanted that client, didn't you? Well, I'm your client. Find the guy who knocked me into that telephone pole. Well, hold on. I'm a defense attorney, not a detective. Don't worry. Once you have found the guy, I intend to sue him. You can stick it to him in the court. I'm not a prosecutor either. I'm sorry, but this is crazy. I'm going home. Don't get so worked up. It was just a joke. Huh? Oh, Daddy. Sorry, Apollo. He just loves jokes, you know. Even the ones that aren't very funny. Your real client should be stopping by the office anytime now. The office, you mean the talent agency? No harm in going. It's not like I have anything else to do. One more thing. Do look into my accident too, would you? I'll mark the scene of the tragedy on this map. It's right in front of this park. Should be easy to find. So he's going to make me investigate this after all. Okay. Let's save the game. Guys, I think that'll be all for today. We at least managed to do 1 episode. I'm glad, you know. So far, this game is good. So far, I am enjoying it for sure. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Apollo Justice. And I wish you all a happy Tuesday. No, Monday actually. What the fuck? It's Monday. And I'll catch you all tomorrow, right? Bye-bye.